Hey everyone, this is Jonah Johnson with you for another edition of JJ in the Field.
Hey guys, Jonah Johnson, sales agronomist with PCT Sunrise, and I have a guest today, Brian Reeb, our research agronomist with the PCT group, and today we're going to talk about fall weed control. And so why is that important? So if you notice here to my right, your left, my little friend here, which is about a 5-foot tall mare's tail plant. And unfortunately, if you look behind me in the soybean field, we have quite a few of its little friends. And so unfortunately, these have escaped successful control this year. And so why are we so concerned? Well, these guys are going into flower right now. And so that being said, these guys are going to drop seed, and we're definitely will have some of these guys germinating this fall. So as our soybeans, you know, are turning yellow, dropping leaves, and in some regards, some of these are getting very close to being ready. Not the entire field, but once we get there, the combines are going to be rolling. They're going to be going through these and spreading these. So fall weed control becomes very important in regards to the mare's tail seed. We have seeds that can harbor bugs like the soybean cyst nematodes, so our purple dead nettles. Those usually germinate in the fall, and we'll see those into the spring. Those are very important because they can create such a dense mat. Our chickweeds, those become a dense mat into the campies and are easy to control in the fall. And then if you have some escaped grass problems, so we can get some foxtails, but mostly grasses like annual bluegrass, because the root structures hold on to soil really well. So if you're a guy that employs tillage and we turn that soil over, it makes big clumps in the soil. So those are a lot easier to control when we have a warmer fall or first thing in the spring. So being that considered, also we talk about our pigweed species. Now those are typically a summer annual, and a lot of those have already are starting to die if they've not completely dead already. But we've seen small plants in warmer falls germinate and have 75 up to 50 to 75 seeds show up on those little plants. So you think even if half those seeds are successfully and they germinate in the spring or latter in the summer, that's 40, 50 plants that could still be a major problem on your farms. We don't want that to happen. So thinking about here this fall, that it's a really easy application of some broadleaf and perhaps some glyphosate product to go after the grasses and some of the broadleaf products. And so those are the key weeds that we're targeting. And Brian, how about you talk about some control measures?
Thanks, Jonah. And like Jonah mentioned, we're going to cover some of the weed control chemical options that you may have for fall herbicide applications. Jonah mentioned the annual bluegrasses. Obviously, we would need a glyphosate-based product in there to control those. And then the next most common ones are the 2,4-D and dicamba and premixes of those products, the Brash Weedmaster, or you can make your own with your own 2,4-D or your own dicamba product. If you do that, remember a typical rate would be 2 pints of Brash in the fall, and in that 2-pint rate you would get about a pint of LV6 and about 8 ounces of dicamba. So when you're going to make your own, just remember that's kind of about the ratio that you would like to hit if you're trying to get to that 2-pint rate. Some things to consider also, Jonah mentioned fall emerging summer annuals, the pigweed species, and as the mare's tail, like Jonah mentioned here, our big friend, as those seeds drop, they will some germinate in the fall. So if you would like to add in a residual, that is always an option, but just be cognizant of the weather there. Just like the springtime, we do need moisture to activate them. So if you're going to apply a residual, make sure you got some moisture coming to activate those as well. Ultimately, we would like to see the residual placed in the springtime where it can be most utilized for that crop coming. But if you have the option, you can go ahead and put some in the fall as well. Another great tank mix partner for that would also be our PCT Stalk Digester. Those mix well with all the herbicide options and can go right in the tank and go right in your fall burn down program. So if you have any more questions about herbicide options or premix components, please reach out to one of your ASAs or one of the PCT specialists.
Okay guys, so Brian gave you some excellent tips of herbicide options to follow, and really consider employing some of those if you can. If you haven't ever had before, it's a very easy application, and we can the goal is to keep our fields clean as can be going into next year. So remember our mare's tail, purple dead nettle, chickweed, any of the annual grasses, and then hopefully we don't have some, but I really fear that we will have some pigweeds that may still germinate this fall. So for more information, reach out to your local ASA or anybody in our PCT team. This is Jonah Johnson and Brian Reeb. Thanks for watching.